Is the PlayStation Portal finally worth your money in 2026? The PlayStation Portal, remember when this thing launched 3 years ago? A lot of people wrote it off as a flop, basically an expensive niche accessory for your PS5. But here in 2026, one huge update has completely flipped the script. So has the Portal finally earned its spot as a must-have gadget? Let's find out. When the PlayStation Portal first dropped, it was basically handcuffed to your PS5. It was a remote play device, which is a fancy way of saying your PlayStation had to be on and connected to some seriously solid Wi-Fi for it to work. That made it a tough sell. For around $200, you were getting a second screen for a console you were already in the same house with. It felt super limiting, and for most people it just wasn't worth the cash. If your Wi-Fi was even a bit spotty and you actually wanted to game on the go, you were completely out of luck. But then everything changed. In late 2025, Sony pushed out the update that gave the Portal a reason to exist. Full-blown cloud streaming support for PlayStation Plus premium members. This was the magic bullet. All of a sudden, the Portal wasn't just mirroring your PS5 anymore. It could tap into a massive library of PS5 and classic games directly from Sony's server. This one feature turned the device from a simple accessory into a legit cloud handheld. You no longer needed your PS5 to be on at home to jump into games like Ghost of Yotai, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. As long as you've got a decent internet connection and a PlayStation Plus premium subscription, you have access to hundreds of titles from pretty much anywhere in the world. As long as you've got a decent internet connection and PS Plus premium subscription, you have access to hundreds of titles from pretty much anywhere with Wi-Fi. This has made the Portal a genuinely viable standalone gaming machine in a lot of situations, and that fundamentally changes its value. So what's it like to actually use? This is where the PlayStation Portal has always shined. It's basically a DualSense controller split in half with a bright 8-inch 1080p LCD screen sandwiched in the middle. The ergonomics are fantastic, way more comfortable for long gaming sessions than a Nintendo Switch or even a Steam Deck. And most importantly, it keeps all the best parts of the DualSense. The haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers are all there, and that's a huge win for immersion. When you play a game that really uses these features, it feels incredible. You get that tension in a bowstring, the pitter-patter of a raindrop. It's a feeling that no other handheld can deliver for PlayStation games. But before we get into the not so great stuff, I want to hear from you. If you own a Portal, did the cloud streaming update change the way you use it? Drop your experience in the comments down below. Alright, let's get real. The Portal still isn't perfect, and there are some significant buts. First off, the screen is a 60Hz LCD. It's not OLED, and it's a good screen, but it just doesn't have the deep blacks and the punchy contrast you get from an OLED display that have become the standard on other premium handhelds. Secondly, there still isn't Bluetooth audio. You either have to plug in with a 3.5mm headphone jack or pay up for Sony's PlayStation Link earbuds, which is seriously frustrating and kind of limiting. And finally, the biggest catch is still there. You are completely dependent on the internet. While cloud streaming frees you from PS5, you still need a strong, stable connection. If you're in a hotel or public Wi-Fi, your experience can really be a mixed bag, and for fast-paced competitive games, any lag at all is a deal breaker. So after 3 years and a game-changing update, is the PlayStation Portal actually worth your money? And the answer is a classic. It depends. If you're a die-hard PS5 owner with a PlayStation Plus premium subscription, the Portal has become a phenomenal value. It lets you play your games away from the TV, anywhere in the house, and now you can tap into a huge cloud library on the go. For parents sharing the main TV or anyone who loves game in bed, it's a fantastic piece of kit. It effectively turns your one PS5 into a multi-user machine. But if you don't have a PS5 or don't subscribe to PlayStation Premium, the Portal makes way less sense. It's not a standalone console like the Nintendo Switch, and if you need a device that works offline or you travel a lot to places with sketchy internet, the Switch is still the more practical and versatile option for you. The PlayStation Portal has been on quite a ride. It started as a niche, maybe even misunderstood accessory, but now in 2026, thanks to the power of cloud streaming, it's evolved into something much more compelling and versatile for the right types of player. It's not just a mirror for your console anymore, it's a true window into the entire PlayStation ecosystem. And it's been Barry Games. Let me know if you use your PlayStation Portal down below, or is it just collecting dust? Let me know what you play on it, and as usual, YouTube thinks you're gonna like this video on screen. I suggest you click it.